Waiting for the perfect moment. We all do this. We wait for the right time, when we feel good, when reality seems to line up our ways, but it rarely happens. And when we do this, we find ourselves waiting forever and watching our life go by and watching these goals that we had and were waited for, they pass on and now they're out of our reach. Or we wait for a while and we then do what we said we were going to do, but in our hearts and our gut, we just have a regret that we didn't start and take action immediately. Or one reason we do that is because we strive for perfection. We're not perfect as humans. We're not going to wake up every day and want to do what we do. Sometimes we want to just sleep, and our moods aren't always going to be perfect. And when things aren't perfect, which leads on to the next reason, is we are afraid of discomfort. You know, some people may not like sitting on this floor, the forest floor, and they'll never sit on the forest floor because they're too scared of being uncomfortable. When starting something new, it's scary. Just for an example, I've never done this before and I'm scared to do it, honestly. I don't know what to expect, but sometimes you need to jump in the pile of mess and see where you end up, and you may end up in a lot better place than your mind deluded and thought you were going to be. And the last reason is that we create a delusion for our future. We think that in the future everything will be okay. We think that we'll just wait for the perfect moment to arise and then we'll be fine. Everything will be good and comfortable, right? But what is this perfect moment that we're searching for? The future isn't always going to be as great as our mind thinks it is. You're not always going to be perfect. The future isn't going to be perfect as well. But there's very easy ways to fix this thinking. The first is to realize that the perfect moment or the right moment does not actually exist. It's a delusion of your mind. Some may say this tree behind me is ugly, but I view it as beautiful. So it exists as both ugly and beautiful at the same time. It's a perspective of how you view things. And every moment in life can be viewed this way. Things can be good and bad at the same time, and it's just how you look at it. And that perfect moment is the exact same thing. The perfect moment could be right now, or it could be 5 years in the future. Well, we want it to be right now, but you can make it right now by accepting that nothing is perfect, and the way you look at things is just your perspective, and that can be changed. The next thing is to start small and imperfect. We strive for doing everything all at once and just diving headfirst into the big open pool. That doesn't work every time. For me, when I started meditating, I was horrible at it, and I still am to this day. Or I'm better than I was, but I'm not perfect in it. And it starts as simple as 5 minutes of the day, or even 3 minutes. And at that little amount of time, you really can't lose. You always can do it most of the time. And if you can't, that's okay. As long as you have the intent of wanting to do it and trying actively to do it. Because we're not perfect. We miss days sometimes. Sometimes we forget or it slips the mind. That still happens to this day for me in meditation, as an example. So don't strive for that perfect consistency every day. It's about the grand scheme. And you have to start small because you have to make it so it's impossible to lose. The next thing is that action creates motivation. When you get the ball rolling, it's rolling, Once you start, it's a lot easier to continue. The hardest part is the starting part. And once you get over that, you keep building. You learn from your experience. If something is scary or you're unsure if it's going to work, you keep building. And for instance, if you started one day and failed, and did not try for 10 days later. But in another way, you just didn't try at all and waited 10 days for the perfect moment. The person that failed is going to be better off than the person that waited and never tried. So once you get the ball rolling, you have the knowledge and understanding a little bit more than when you didn't start. But don't be hard on yourself. You know, if you have the intent of doing something and you miss it, let's say you're on a diet and you're eating well, and you go hang out with friends and you were like, okay, whatever, I'll have dessert. And you eat dessert, you enjoy it with your friends, and you have a good time. That's okay. You go back the next day and continue on your diet. You can have days where you're not a machine doing everything perfectly, because that's what life is about. And when you live in that cycle of doing everything how you're supposed to and in perfect ways, you're trapped and not experiencing what you want to. The end advice is that if you start now and you fail and you don't try for another week or 2 weeks, you'll be better off. And you keep trying until you start. Waiting for the perfect moment is only a delusion in your mind that you think this perfect moment exists in the first place, but it really doesn't. So just start whatever you want to do and have intent with